Hello, 220 subscribers, Chillmonger, Black Panther, and the Agents of Wakanda. Hey, writer, artist, colors, all at one point or another have interacted with this channel. Hey, shout out to you. Shout out to my 220 subscribers whom I don't show enough love for. Shout out to the people who thumbs up the video the first 5 seconds without me having to ask just because they want to help and support. You make my video go higher on the search bar when the people enter Black Panther. I appreciate you too. I appreciated this nice story. The mystery of the new recruit is solved. It was lurking there for the last 2 issues, and we get an answer to it, but not before we get some paying homage to Avengers No Surrender. This is something that happened last year, but most importantly, it happened. It happened 2 years ago. 2017 is when the story was popping. It happened. It happened, and Jim Zub, James Zubkovic, and Rolando Marina, and Federico Blee. I think that's a Spanish name. Them 3 guys, man. They said we are gonna use that event to fuel this comic book. The Gardener, my boy, look at the way he's drawn, man. What he does in here is similar to the Avengers Jason Aaron run thing, where it started off the first issue, if you read that, something green, put it inside the core of the Earth, moon, and let it grow, fester, and become a problem for the Avengers to solve. This time it's the Agents of Wakanda, and they try to solve it. The people who noticed it first was 3 hours ago. It was Gorilla Man and it was Brew. The way that they were chit-chatting with each other was cool. It was fitting. It was very much like Wolverine and the X-Men, Jason Aaron's other book. It was very fitting to what Brew was with that. So runs are being respected. I'm being redundant when I shout out Jim's up for respecting runs, but I'm just telling you, this is what I like to see. I like to see Marvel being a continuous story, and sometimes it feels like it's not, because the guy who's writing the Black Panther book isn't the same guy who's writing the Avengers book, therefore he doesn't know what's going on. But in this case, the guy who wrote the Avengers was also writing the Black Panther, and he says, idea. Just like, people respecting that Hickman right now is mentioning things that he did in his Fantastic Four. The marriage between Shi'ar Empire, Cannonball's woman, and him is being referenced right now in New Mutants, and Hickman's writing all that. So sometimes it's only the writers who pay homage and respect their old stories and build off of them. It doesn't happen so often anymore, and this is kind of a problem I have with comic books today, modern comics. Nowadays, someone will see a villain from their Chris Claremont days, or let me move away from the X-Men. Let's just say a guy like Kang the Conqueror. That's someone I used to read when I grew up, and when I get to write comic books, first story I'm going to do, Kang the Conqueror. Christopher Cantwell, right now with the Doctor Doom. Or Venom. Man, I love that Venom. Let me write something. And then there you go, Donny Cates is writing Venom. But someone like Parker Robbins, right? The Hood, remember him? No one, because nobody grew up with him. It's going to take a few years for people to respect that stuff. And when I say the word respect, I mean to say, mention that it happened, elaborate on the story, or create new stories with this character. That's what I mean by respect. Don't just dismiss them as, I don't got to write with these guys. I'm writing the X-Men book, which means I get to do Nightcrawler, Jean Grey, and Wolverine, and Cyclops, and that doesn't mean, like, I want you to write the X-Men. I want to see you write Dust. I want to see you write Brew. I want to see you utilize the whole team. And I went on a tangent, but that's what we do here on Chillmonger. They do identify the moon, and they are first sons to go there. The reason John Jameson is going to join this crew is because he's an astronaut. And it's not until the final page that shows the cover for the next one that it clicked. Oh, he's a werewolf. Oh, it's the moon. And especially now that we'll get to the end of the comic where it gets juiced up. What the hell could that mean? I'm really interested in next issue. The Avengers are explained for not being there. They're busy, which is perfectly reasonable. There's an Avengers comic book happening right now. Actually, there's Savage Avengers too. There's a whole lot of Avengers going on. There's a lot of reasons why they're going to be busy. At least they explained it. And Alpha Flight, well, you see, the part where we're orbiting is Africa. The part where they orbit is probably United States, North America. They can't get here that quickly. We got to go now. Good answer. So it's nice that it's all explained. Comic books usually don't do that. Why is Peter always fighting a dude in New York City? Because it's his comic and they've got different editors, and because no, not this time. This was great. And these are things that he does. He goes the extra effort. How long did it really take? A panel? I love Jim's Up. So there was an MCU kind of hilarious moment where they talked about 17 ships that didn't make the trip, that broke down, and Mockingbird is like, Black Panther, are you serious? Yeah. It was funny. I didn't laugh though. The other MCU moment was this. Look at this. It's just like Captain America going to space for the first time. The camera's all close up in his face, just like Avengers Endgame, baby. Somebody, Amy Dowland from Collider Heroes, she said that this is very easy to adapt to movies. This is a screenplay. She called it, I think she said it's motion pictures, or maybe I'm saying it's motion pictures. But that's the way I would put it, man. This is concept art. Movies have that, and if you can just take a book like this and put it in a movie, it's more seamless than any other genre. Better than a novel. Like, as great as Harry Potter was, as strict to the books that they stayed, it's not. It could be done better with a comic book like this. Hey, this double page spread. First of all, shout out to the art. I'm sure the artist hates that it went through the machine to digitally create the fuzzy stuff there, and I hope there's no glare. I know there is. But isn't it cool how this is the double page spread right in the middle of the comic? Like, the staple is here. The staples are in the middle of the comic. Jim Zub said something like he counts pages for the trades so that we don't have an extra page on a trade. You've all read them, where it's like, this isn't part of the comic. This is just the logo of the comic book because you wanted me to experience a double page later on. So it's nice that he counted pages to give me that right in the middle of a comic. And this is the third book. I wonder if in the other two books there was also a moment like that. I only caught on to this tactic in this issue. Maybe he's been doing it the whole time. I'll notice it if it happens in issue 4. I'd reach over and get 1 and 2, but Chillmonger doesn't get up once he starts sitting for his reviews. Okoye jokes around with John Jameson. Rather, John Jameson's being sarcastic. And this is the part that made me laugh. He said, if I don't be acting this way, then I'll be swearing profusely. You know what happens next when he wasn't being sarcastic? He resulted to swearing over there in the bottom panel of the page. And I audibly laughed out loud. Black Panther is going to go down to the center of the earth. And similar to how he was with Doctor Strange, he deals with the problem over there. While the green thing was constricting his spaceship, he managed to escape it. And it was beautiful artwork too. Beautiful artwork indeed. In there was Brew in his stasis cube. It looks like it was reflecting Jason Aaron's run of Wolverine and X-Men. You see Nature Girl, you see the young people who were part of that school. I see Molly Hayes in the back with her hat on. I'm guessing the redhead is Hope Solo. Let's see who else is in there. I think Megan Pixie, I think she's in there. The Welsh chick. And Gorilla Man is talking. There's Howard the Duck down here, and I don't know what they're referencing, but I'm sure this is something in great Gorilla Man lore. Look at all the people in the audience in this performance. They're all animals as well. Tigers, lions, and bears. Oh my. So the artwork in here was beautiful, by the way, and it's very well illustrated by Black Panther with his kinetic energy, making him violet, and he's dancing around and running and escaping, and I really, really liked it. The other page where he escapes it, that was beautiful too, bro. That was beautiful too. So, 3 endings really to the book. It's the Black Panther leaving, that got your attention. It's the moon being sentient. It looks like there's 2 eyes and a mouth. And then the Mockingbird ending where she says, fine, I'll do it myself. No, she actually says, okay, Bobby girl, time to earn your keep. Aside from John Jameson, who is in absolute carnage right now, aside from that, aside from that, like, there's nothing wrong with this comic, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm happy that I read it every week. As I read it, like this time, the second time I read this book today, I noticed the thing where the book opens up and in the middle there's a double page spread, and I'm sure there's more Easter eggs and more seriously well thought out things in this comic than I figured them out. Oh, that's what the comment section is for, by the way. If you want to enjoy this comic book with me, interact with me, I interact back. Jack. My name is Chillmonger, and that's a wrap. And now I rap to the outro. If you didn't know, you don't know that I can go all day and night. It's not a fight. The Black Panther and the Agents of Wakanda was all right. I'd probably give it a 9 because it's the closest word that rhymes.